Hi, uh, welcome, and let's wait for others, and we will start in 3 minutes or so. So stay tuned. Good evening, everyone. I'm pleased to welcome you on our today's event, which is going to be interview with Dominic Frisby. Providing you don't know us, we are a Czech brand of Students for Liberty, global non-profit apolitical student organization, and we are here to connect and support liberty-minded students. Yeah. And in Czech Republic, we are organizing Liberty evenings in Prague and sometimes in Brno as well. And we are doing bigger conferences once in a year or attending big pan-European LibertyCon. However, in the time of Corona, we are hosting online events such as this one. We do this completely free, so we would greatly appreciate some support, whether in fiat or Bitcoin, Litecoin, and for the first time actually, I implemented Lightning. So, and if you have any question on our host, don't hesitate and ask him in the comment section. In the end, I will read them. So, as I said earlier, I'm very... Oh. Dominic?
Hello, I'm here.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
Give me a few seconds. Yeah, that's better. So, as I said earlier, I'm very proud that Dominic Frisby has accepted the invitation to today's interview. So, hello, Dominic.
Hello, how's it going?
Great. You?
You're very well, thank you.
Dominic is a British author, comedian, voice-over actor, songwriter, economist, professional investor, and among other things, he's libertarian. So, and he's written 3 books, one about government, second about Bitcoin. That was actually in 2014, so he is quite new. Not new, but old. Sorry.
Yeah, I think it was the first book on Bitcoin from a recognized publisher. Yeah, but the problem was it came in the first Bitcoin winter, and so everyone was quite negative about Bitcoin.
Really?
So it never got distributed beyond the UK. It never got an international distribution. So I'm not known like some of the other Nathaniel Popper and Safety and Amadeus and all that, but I was first.
Cool to hear. I'm not sure if you were first because
from a recognized publisher.
Okay.
It wasn't the first book, but for the first book from a, there were lots of like self-published stuff and that kind of thing.
Fair enough. And one, yeah. So the second one about Bitcoin, and the third one was about taxes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So my question is, how do you manage to do this all?
I don't know really. How I do this all is I have an office in my house, which is about 10 meters from my bedroom, and it's very comfortable in my office. As you can see, I'm sitting here now, and in my office, nobody else goes in there, and so I just hide in here all day and write, and that's how I do it.
That's great. And you recently published your new creation, sci-fi rock drama. About what? What's that?
About invisibility.
Invisibility.
A sci-fi rock drama.
What does it
about
mean?
Invisibility. Okay, so sci-fi,
Yeah.
It's a story. It's like an audio book. It's a story all about invisibility. But I have a friend of mine who is one of the best rock guitarists in the world, and he wrote a soundtrack for the story. And we're having this huge boom in audio at the moment. People are rediscovering their ears. When human beings process words better through the ear, And we only invented writing as a means to transfer information over distance or over time, beyond the scope of the human voice. And so writing has always been how we transferred information. But the brain actually absorbs information better through the ear. And that's why, with all this new technology, smartphones and all the rest of it, that's why we're having this huge boom in audio, because so many people are discovering how much better the brain processes information through the ear. I learned everything I know about economics. I would say 60 or 70% of what I know about economics through listening to podcasts, and 30% through reading books. It's just the most amazing learning tool. And so, I'm a big fan of audio for that reason. And often format is determined by the media that's available at the time. So, for example, the album, you're probably too young to remember albums, but they were huge in the 1960s, 70s, 80s and 90s. And they came about because of records. After the Second World War, records went to 33 RPM, and you could store 20 minutes of audio on either side of the album and of the record. And so we got albums. Before it was all singles. And then, so we had the rise of this form, the album. And then, of course, with iTunes and the iPod and everything else and Spotify, the album died as a form. And now it's all just singles and playlists and this kind of thing. But my idea was that the old album format could have a new lease of life as an audio book. And so we wrote this sort of experimental thing. And it's as I say, it's me narrating the story all about invisibility. And it's set 10 years in the future. And a police officer discovers these drug dealers have been using coats of invisibility. And he sets out, and they call themselves the Shadowpunks. And they use these coats of invisibility to protect themselves against state and corporate invasion of their privacy. And the whole thing is a metaphor for Bitcoin. And I call them Shadowpunks, the people who invented the coats. I call them Shadowpunks. Obviously, the people who invented Bitcoin were the cypherpunks. But so anyway, let me just finish on this very quickly. And so the idea was that it's the drama all about invisibility. And every time somebody's invisible, you hear a little theme on the guitar. And it's, using these new formats, audio through the ear. And I'm just exploring the form a little bit, but I'm really pleased with it. I think it's really good. And anyone who likes Bitcoin, the whole thing is a metaphor for Bitcoin. So if you're interested in Bitcoin and you like rock guitar and you like sci-fi, the Shadowpunk Revolution is the story for you.
Yeah, I can actually play a sample of it. So.
Who would have believed that by the year 2029, invisibility would be possible? The Shadowpunk Revolution, a sci-fi rock drama about invisibility, out now on Audible and iTunes.
Oh my god. I would like to add that your audiobook is unique among others with its fantastic rock background. And well, I'm curious, was the music written precisely on the book?
Yeah.
That.
We did it in at the Edinburgh Festival. We did a show, me and the rock guitarist, and I wrote the story with a friend, and then the rock guitarist wrote the music to the story.
Well, as you said, when I listened to it, I fell in love basically with the idea of having such a thing. You know, I value my privacy, so so it would be absolutely invaluable for crypto anarchists and privacy extremists.
Yeah.
Yeah, but however, wouldn't inventing a cloak cloak of invisibility led to more thefts, kidnapping, terrorism, and so on?
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure. But
And
you
is
have
it a
to
good thing?
admit,
Like,
no.
so
But it also, you know, having guns leads to more gun crime. Having Bitcoin leads to more, you know, trafficking of dangerous substances, child pornography, all sorts of terrible things are facilitated by Bitcoin. And we have to be honest with ourselves. It is not just a force for good. It is also a force for evil. And but the good, in my opinion, outweighs the evil of Bitcoin. But Bitcoin is used for money. It's money. Money is used for good things and it's used for bad things. And Bitcoin has enabled, you know, I know a company on in America, and it's called Chechen Hitmen.
what's
And
that?
you can Chechen, somebody from Chechnya, you can hire a hitman, an assassin from Chechnya, to go and kill somebody for you,
And
and you
is it
pay him in
real?
Bitcoin.
Is it real?
I don't know,
Because
but you pay him in Bitcoin.
yeah,
Now, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Now, if it's real, and you're hiring somebody to kill somebody, is that good or bad? If it's fake, and it's being used to steal your money, is that good or bad?
Yeah.
Either way, it's bad.
Yeah.
And Bitcoin has enabled this. So it isn't, I mean, we all know about liberty and freedom from fiat money and all those wonderful things. But the idea that Bitcoin is only good it's not that simple.
Well, I would.
This is why
yeah.
invisibility was such a good metaphor.
We have in Czech Republic, we have a great author called Dominic as well,
really?
Dominic Strokal, and he had written a book called something about Bitcoin as well, and in 2013, so yeah, it
Before me.
maybe, but in his like newest book, he addresses the problem with, as you said, the terrorism and so on. And he made a he made a survey or something like that, and he proved that the illegal things such as kidnapping someone or killing someone for Bitcoin is actually fake. So okay, I would, yeah. There is one passage in the book that the inventor of the cloak of invisibility, it's called Umbra, says that the invention has to be open source. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Because Bitcoin is open source.
And what
I'm
would,
just copying.
So what would happen if, for example, Google obtained patent for cloak of invisibility?
Well, the reason he wanted it to be open source is that so that nobody could have the patent. We had this company that was trying. It was basically like the optics company was trying to own the patent, and the inventor said it's too bad if one company owns the patent to something as bad as powerful as invisibility, you know, then it's too it will be misused and corrupted. It has to be open source. That was the idea in the book, same as Bitcoin.
I agree. So, could the government regulate?
Bitcoin would be terrible. You know, we see when
Agree.
companies and governments issue their own money, what happens.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. So, could government in any way regulate or prohibit using cloak of invisibility? So
yeah, if they could try.
they could. Would it be possible?
Well, how do they find you? How do they know you're there?
By sound, by
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
so. You have to wear quiet shoes.
another invention.
Yeah, I think in the real world, if you invented invisibility cloaks, they would be made illegal straight away.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the clever things of Satoshi Nakamoto, is that he invented that currency so quietly, and he just let it spread amongst a few techno people who understood the genius of it, and then a few libertarians and a few entrepreneurs and he just let it spread slowly, and it got so few people understood it, and that so few people understood money, and so few people understood the genuine power of something like Bitcoin. By the time it's spread, it's very hard to close it down now.
I totally.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
One country can make it illegal. You know, America can close down Coinbase or whatever it is, but Bitcoin will still survive. Even in China, didn't China try to make Bitcoin illegal? And then all the miners are still in China, so they didn't do a very good job.
Yeah, another thing. The potential invention could, in my view, change one huge premise of every life, and it is even addressed in the Shadowpunk Revolution, and that's eyes could not be trusted with what is in front of them. I love that question, that sentence. Would that mean any kind of problem in society?
Would that mean, sorry?
Any kind of problem, any issue?
Yeah.
Would that make?
Yeah, it makes everyone paranoid. It becomes very dangerous. Yeah, I mean, if you can't trust your eyes,
Yeah.
suddenly the world is very different.
Cool. And my last question is, would you buy Cloak of Invisibility?
For sure. It depends how much it is.
Uh,
But you know, if they're $100,000 now, next year they'll be $50,000, and the year after that they'll be $30,000. They'll fall in price very quickly. That's what happens with new technology.
It was in your book. It was for 150 pounds,
Yeah.
which is about
150,000 pounds.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, which is 12.9 Bitcoin. So is 12.9 Bitcoins really worth it for you?
Coat.
Sorry.
I think I would spend 13 Bitcoins on an invisibility coat.
Straight away. Yeah, me
I think so.
Me either.
Think how powerful it would make you.
So
I'd walk into the Bank of England and steal 13 gold bars, and I would cover my costs straight away.
But you would do a theft, or are you a libertarian?
Well, is stealing off the government theft?
Good point.
Or are you taking back your taxes?
Good point. So
Yeah, you retrieving property that was unfairly taken from you.
my next topic is, you are actually a comedian and songwriter, right? And
Yeah.
I thought about that, and there are two main ways how to explain somebody why liberty might be a good idea. For example, Mises or Rothbard use clear explaining. Ayn Rand is known for her novels, and
Yeah.
as I see it, you've been doing both, and on top of that, you came up with another way, and that are songs. So, what led you to the idea to start writing songs about liberty?
Well, I really like song lyrics, funny song lyrics. I've always liked them, and started. But I was never very good at musical instruments. I was good at writing lyrics, but no good at playing.
Yeah, and
And I started having ukulele lessons,
huh.
and quite by accident, I discovered that my ukulele teacher was a militant libertarian.
Yeah,
And he's also a brilliant musician. And so we started writing these songs in my ukulele lessons. And we wrote this song about Brexit. And it was very, very funny.
I
And I did it on stage and everyone really laughed. And then so we went and recorded it in his friend's studio, which was just in his flat, in his front room. And we put it on YouTube, and it just went completely viral. In about 2 weeks, it had like 2 million hits or something, and Facebook, and it was just so successful. I had to carry on writing songs after that. It was very funny.
Cool. And so nowadays, how do you feel about writing a song? Is it hard or?
Sometimes you write them and you write them like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes months.
So yeah.
It's like a mathematical problem. You have the rhythm and you have to fit the words to the rhythm and make sure you get the rhyme, and it just takes ages writing and rewriting and rewriting.
I'm asking for it because it's kind of my topic, because I'm a choir singer. So,
Are you?
so,
Okay.
Yeah, music is my cup of tea.
You should have sung. Have you seen the national anthem of Libertaria?
Let's go to that. I will play a sample.
It's only 2 minutes. Play the whole thing.
Let's go.
Arise, libertarians, above totalitarians. Our guide is the mighty invisible hand. Reject state controllers, collectors, patrollers. Our choices are better than government plans. Taxation is a form of theft. Free markets and free trade are best. Free speech, free movement, free minds and free choice. Our actions are all voluntary, not coerced or compulsory. War we abhor, socialism does not work. No debt or inflation, no stealth confiscation, no pigs in the trough at the gravy to drink, no state education to brainwash our nation, no experts dictate what to do, what to think. We scorn your fiat currency. Gold and Bitcoin is our money. We own ourselves and we live and let live. We take responsibility. Live,
it's over. I love it, simply. What is actually what caught my eye is that it's Soviet anthem, however. Yeah. How did it come about?
Well, I did a show in Edinburgh,
Yeah.
At the Edinburgh Festival, called Libertarian Love Songs, and the idea of the show is that everyone who came into the theatre was in Libertaria, and so we had to begin the show by singing the national anthem of Libertaria. So I made the whole audience had to stand up and do the Libertarian salute, which was this. I don't know why, but I made this the Libertarian salute and sing the national anthem. And I had the words on a big screen at the back of the theatre so everyone could see. And I was looking for a really good national anthem to use. And if you Google the best national anthems in the world, actually, apparently the best one is Uruguay. It has more key changes and it's like 5 minutes long. But if I asked you to sing the Uruguay anthem, nobody would know. And I think the second best is like maybe French. And the South African one is very popular. But Russia was about fourth or fifth. And then also it's out of copyright. But the irony of using the Soviet, it was originally composed as the hymn of the Bolshevik Party. So the irony of using that for Libertaria, I thought was very funny. And it's a great song. It's a great piece of music. It really, lifts you up.
Yeah, I agree. And your next song I liked is about crony capitalism.
Oh yeah.
I will same again. Play a sample.
HS2 will not cost 5 billion quid before a track has even been laid, because crony capitalism will not be tolerated. You will not be able to donate to political parties and then get knighted and a seat in the House of Lords. Mega corporations will not exploit planning laws you can barely comprehend to build apartment blocks of unfathomable ugliness across your once beautiful city, to provide accommodation for people who never even go there. Actors with Hollywood salaries, succulent voices and silk scarves will not march on Downing Street to demand more subsidy for the arts. There's enough wank in the theatre as it is. Get your heads out of your...
I will stop that here. I stopped that. Dominic doesn't know. I stopped that about get the head out of your. So.
Oh yeah.
What is my question? Is crony capitalism worse than socialism? Where do you stand on that?
The thing about crony capitalism is that, like so many people, what they think is capitalism is actually crony capitalism. And when so many people on the left argue against capitalism, they're actually arguing against crony capitalism. And I think a lot of people on the left, very socialists, are very well intentioned. They have anarchist instincts. A lot of libertarians start out as Marxists, and they have these anarchist instincts, but they think that somehow government is the solution, regulation is the solution, control, laws and everything else is the solution. They don't realize that these are actually the problem. And crony capitalism and all the things they hate are a creation of regulation and laws and all the rest of it. They wouldn't exist in a totally free anarchic society. And so the purpose of that song was to try and educate people about the difference between what is capitalism and what is crony capitalism. And in a way, crony capitalism, like we live in sort of, you can call them neoliberal societies, or you can call it social democracy, whatever you want to call it. But it's really very, very crony capitalist. And in a way, socialism is better because it's more honest about what it is. But probably in real terms, if you look at genuine socialist societies, Soviet Union, Cuba, Nazi Germany, Venezuela, probably the outcomes are better in social democracy. So we have to say that crony capitalist societies are preferable to socialist societies, but they're more dishonest.
I would agree, yeah.
Actually, no, they're more like, because socialism is, Venezuela, you look at Cuban propaganda or Soviet propaganda, that was so dishonest as well. So, they're all dishonest, but
Fair.
I don't know. The outcomes are better in crony capitalist societies, put it that way.
Yeah. However, the most popular song you have right now is your, I think the first one, Dead Bomb. It's
yeah.
I love it. And
well, 17 million fuck offs. The Brexit song got more hits.
Yeah.
But I had to take it down because I did a new version.
Yeah.
And so if you put the two versions together, Brexit has like 2.5 million, but the new version only has about 750,000, something like that. But I've been shadow banned on YouTube. So I don't get suggested very much.
So, yeah.
Because my message is too unacceptable in this new age of censorship. Hey, can you tell me something as a Bitcoiner? When is decentralized social media going to be a thing? It can't come soon enough.
I don't know, really.
You see what's going on with Twitter and Facebook and all the censorship. It can't happen quick enough.
Mm-hmm. And in Dead Bomb, the song, you are making fun of how governments and central banks fight financial crisis. So I will play.
That song Dead Bomb was like 2010, I think, 2009, 2010, something like that. It was before Bitcoin.
I will play a sample.
I was younger and more handsome.
Quantitative easing, zero interest rates. Steal from the future, hide the bad mistakes. We gotta keep those asset prices high. Don't matter if the credit's dry. Dead bomb, you're a dead bomb. Try to pay the debt off with inflation. Dead bomb, yeah. You're a dead bomb. Malinvestment, ooh, you turn me on. A boom caused by excess credit will always bust. Yeah. You've then got two choices, decide you must abandon the addiction, the credit lust, or the currency collapses, it just turns to worthless dust. Yeah. Dead bomb.
Yeah. We are here.
Here we are.
Yeah, cool. My question is, how is the situation different from your point of view to this year's crisis? Like,
this year it's exactly the same, only worse. It's become normalized.
why? Why it's
Bitcoin?
Why it's
money printing?
Yeah.
Modern monetary theory, zero interest rates, quantitative easing. It's just normal now. And it's gonna. I don't understand why it hasn't gone wrong, but it has to go wrong. You can't just print money. You can't. Maybe you can. I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't understand why. I think it only hasn't imploded because everyone uses the currency.
Yeah.
But suddenly, I don't know who goes first. Japan, UK, EC, European, the euro, the US dollar.
It's all
I
about
doubt
belief,
it'll be
yeah.
the Australia or Canada, but some big country, maybe Sweden, some big country is going to go.
Yeah.
And when one goes, the others will go pretty quickly. I think more people have to have a stake in non-government money before it all goes, because all the Bitcoiners and the more people have to know about that there's an alternative. Like anyone who's invested in Bitcoin wants fiat money to collapse because they know how much money they'll make out of it. So yeah, but it will be very ugly when it does.
Yeah. That's why we are in Bitcoin, right?
Sure, exactly.
So are you actually, I found that you are a director or something in company called
Cypherpunk Holdings.
Cypherpunk Holdings. What's that? Why Cypherpunk Holdings?
I resigned earlier this year, but I was director. It's a very good company. It invests in privacy technology. It's listed in Canada as a public company, and we bought shares in Wasabi Wallet and Samurai Wallet, and it owns about probably maybe 250 Bitcoin, something like that. It's a good company, but it's got its problems. But we set it up. That was when I was very interested in privacy, but I've resigned now from that.
All right.
I just didn't have the time.
Yeah.
Money was nice, but.
And okay, so have everyone? Yeah, let's give a.
I've just realised I've got this box in front of my picture of the Shadowpunk Revolution. Hang on a sec.
Okay.
Carry on talking. I'm listening.
No, people in chat ask Dominic any question. We have like 15 minutes, so it's your time now. So everyone, good. Yeah. Let's now talk about Bitcoin and other stuff. Mine. Are you a Bitcoin maximalist, would you say?
I wasn't, but when I worked in Cypherpunk Holdings with John Matonis and Mo Adam. They were my two fellow directors. And I was like, we have to buy privacy coins. We have to buy Monero, maybe some Litecoin. We have to buy Zcash. We have to buy Beam. We have to buy Grin. And those two are much more Bitcoin maximalist than I am. And they converted me. And so, John Matonis was saying, we don't need Monero as much. We all like Monero. Who doesn't like Monero? But they were also saying you don't need it anymore because you have Samurai and mixing and Wasabi and all this of privacy layers added to the Bitcoin protocol so that you no longer need the alternatives.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, cool. This summer, I was, as a matter of fact, in London for a few weeks, and
just on the Bitcoin maximalist question.
Yeah.
What Bitcoin has is, there are other coins that are faster. There are other coins that are more private. There are other coins that you can build apps on. There are other really good coins, probably technologically better than Bitcoin. But Bitcoin has the network effect, and that's an incredibly powerful thing. The network effect. It's just the coin that everyone's heard of. And in terms of, it's just so dominant, its network. It's, 80% of crypto's overall market cap is Bitcoin. It's probably even higher than 80%. I haven't looked recently, but that's just so powerful.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm bullish about that makes me a Bitcoin maximalist.
Yeah, me either. What I was trying to say is...
I mean, there are some great guys. Like, I'm a big... Roger Ver has attracted a lot of controversy, but I love Roger Ver. I think he's a champion. I think he's a brilliant man. And, he swears by Bitcoin Cash. So,
So, are you bullish in Bitcoin Cash as well?
No, not particularly. No.
Yeah.
I've got some, but I'm not particularly bullish about it.
Okay.
But I do like Roger.
Fair enough. I was in London this summer, and there was a time I felt like buying Bitcoin. So I found the nearest ATM, and I was quite shocked that it wanted my mobile number. So
did it?
Yeah, I turned it around and went away. So, is KYC AML a threat, do you think?
Well, I mean, it's not hard to get a second phone number, is it, if you need one? It's not hard to get an anonymous phone number, so it's quite easy to beat. I mean, it's a problem, but it's easy to circumvent if you want to.
Yeah, but what?
I mean, ATMs. Who uses those ATMs? Like my son uses an ATM when he's going to buy weed. They're not for big purchases. They're like for small Bitcoin purchases, aren't they?
Yeah. So you buy Bitcoin in some KYC. I don't know. Coinbase or.
Yeah, or use an exchange, or it's more interesting. Is it's not so much when you buy that's the problem; it's when you sell, because that's the taxable event.
Okay.
That's if you're worried about government knowing about you, that's the event you need to conceal.
Okay. You wrote a book about Bitcoin in 2014, but when have you actually discovered Bitcoin?
I looked in my first email. My first email about Bitcoin, I can tell you now, look in my old emails. I think it was December 2010. It was like 20 cents. I didn't do anything. I just read about it and I thought, oh, that looks like a good idea.
Really? Because a lot of like 2010 guys just say that they thought it was insane. So you.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take me a while to find. But I mean, I just thought it was a good idea. I wish I mean, it was 20 cents. I could have spent €1,000 on 20 cents and I'd never need to work again. But the world is full of those kind of stories.
Yeah. What do you think about the new, I'd say new, 3 years old Lightning Network?
I don't really know. I can't offer any insight.
Okay.
I really can't. Like, it's probably better than it was. I can sort of see the criticisms on both sides, and
so you don't.
It's just an argument.
You don't pay anyone in Bitcoin.
No, I try and get paid in Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah.
I try and pay people in other currencies and get paid in Bitcoin.
Have you ever been in Prague, in Czech Republic?
No, never.
No. You have to
I'd love
come
to go.
here because Czech Republic is known for its Bitcoin. How to say Bitcoin root?
Yeah, you had one of the first Bitcoin conferences out there.
Yeah, and actually in the city center, not in the city center of Prague, there is one building called Parallel Police, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's it's like Bitcoin heaven. you can there buy coffee via Bitcoin, not fiat, only Bitcoin and Litecoin.
Yeah.
And so you have to come here.
I will. I'd love to come. We'll do an event.
Yeah. My last question from me. We are students for Liberty, and we focus on Liberty history. Which liberty-minded person has influenced you the most, would you say?
Hang on a minute.
Okay.
"2009, that's not possible."
Wow. That's the email?
Yeah, I've got an email from 2009.
No way.
8th of September 2009.
8th of...
That's not possible. That's just not possible. Let me just see this.
This is an awesome moment. Yeah.
I don't know. I can't. Anyway, that's what it says.
Thank you for your comments. I will read them out. Yeah. There are... Let's get back to my question then. Which liberty-minded person, like Hayek, or... Have you read anyone like Mises Rothbard?
Yeah, I've read bits of von Mises, Road to Serfdom, Murray Rothbard. I've read. I like all of them. They're all quite heavy. I mean, von Mises is the god. Murray Rothbard's good. I find economics books in general hard to read. I have to be honest with you. Yeah. But I read von Mises quotes. I love Milton Friedman. I think he was wrong about money, but I do like him. Henry Hazlitt, I used to like. I've never read any Ayn Rand. I've read lots of Ayn Rand quotes of hers, but I've never actually read any of her books.
Okay.
So I'm not that good on those guys. I like James Turk's stuff early on, the stuff he wrote with John Rubino.
Cool. So yeah, there are a few questions in the comment section.
Sure, far away.
Are you planning to write any song about current COVID situation? You did, right?
I wrote one.
One.
It's maybe the fear is worse than the disease. It was one verse of a bigger song. But I haven't really thought of one. If I think of one, I'll write another one. I haven't had any ideas recently.
But you wrote Lockdown Blues, is it called?
Oh yeah, that was about Lockdown Blues. I wrote that was about the situation more than about specifically about the virus. I've got my new album is coming out quite soon, so I'm excited about that.
There is another question. Vojta Soukup asks, what is your opinion on price of Bitcoin during upcoming economic crisis? Will it gain enough trust from people as a store of value, or will just everyone get rid of it?
I'm bullish. I'm bullish.
Yeah.
It's very volatile. It'll go up 5 times and it'll fall 80%. That kind of thing. Yeah. That's what it does. But I'm bullish.
There is another comment.
All roads lead to Bitcoin.
Yeah. And gold? Are you bullish?
And gold.
Yeah. And
the problem with gold is that, like, you know, gold was 1900 in I love gold. I like gold more than Bitcoin, to be honest. But I've got
It's the
gold
same,
in. It's the same, exactly. But in gold was 1900 in 2011. Bitcoin was less than $1 in 2011. Now Bitcoin's $15,000. So you've made 15,000 times your money. Gold is the same price now as it was in 2011.
Yeah, I understand. So there was a comment about, yeah, as we were talking about if Umbra is a good thing or bad thing. I heard that founder of Wikipedia is working on free social media. What comment? So it might.
Jimmy Whale.
I'm not sure who's that.
I thought the founder of Wikipedia was Jimmy Whale. He's very left-wing, Jimmy Whale. He's not really a libertarian. He
Really?
understands libertarian arguments, but he's not a libertarian.
Okay.
Wikipedia is such an odd monster. It's so odd. I mean, it's just like, I can tell you, the entry on me is just wrong. It contains stuff that just isn't true. And I've emailed them and said, like, this is the truth. There's like a page where you can write notes, and they don't believe I'm me. And I'm going, it's not me promoting myself. I'm just going, look, for example, it says I have 2 children. I have 4 children. And I'm going, look, I've got 4 kids. I can send you a picture of me and my 4 kids. And they won't accept it. The procedure, there's so much false information on Wikipedia.
Okay.
And it's actually, a lot of the time, it's a result of their
Politics?
evidence procedures.
Okay.
And they rely on, like, whenever you read an article in a newspaper and it's a subject that you know a lot about, it's your area of expertise, you often get really angry because there's so many inaccuracies in that article. Well, every single article that ever gets written about anything is written by a journalist who is not an expert in that field, as often as not, and it contains inaccuracies. And Wikipedia relies on these as verified sources. And so it's just the way that the media currently works is a source of disinformation. Like in England on November the 5th, we have a thing called Fireworks Night. And it's a big celebration in England that goes all the way back to Guy Fawkes in the early 1600s. So 400 or 500 years, 400 years it goes back. And every year we burn a statue of Guy Fawkes and we let off fireworks. And it's called Fireworks Night. And because Fireworks Night this year was on a Thursday, everyone did it on the Saturday, November the 7th, on the Saturday night. And so all the fireworks went off, as they always do. And in the American media, it was reported that the English were letting off fireworks to celebrate Joe Biden's victory.
No way.
and so they showed these fireworks, and we're like, it was Fireworks Night. It's got nothing to do with Joe Biden, but it just shows you how it's an incredible source of misinformation. Now that article could be taken, it was ABC News, a respectable news source, and say taken, and you could write a whole thing on Wikipedia about the English fireworks celebrating Joe Biden's victory based on this article, but it's just not true. The article wasn't true. So, I mean, Wikipedia is brilliant, but it is unreliable.
Yeah. I would agree. Yeah. So, as I see, no one else has anything to say. All right. So, I thank you very much, Dominic, for coming today. It was a pleasure having you. Have a nice evening.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for having me. I'll see you again soon.
Bye bye.
Bye.
So, and thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching today's interview. If you had a good time, please consider supporting us via links here that are here, or in the description below. And so see you soon. And for the Czech listeners, ahoj. Tuhle středu pořádáme se Students for Liberty Quiz. A tak určitě přijďte, mám takovej dojem, já to pro jistotu najdu, že první kolo začíná v 19:15, kam se musíte přihlásit. A tam je 6 lidí. A druhý kolo, myslím v 8, pokud to říkám špatně, tak mě asi radši opravte. Začíná v 8 a to je pro všechny. Ale určitě přijďte na to první kolo a přihlašte se. Bude to fakt pecka. Takže tuhle středu. 18.11. je další naše akce. A to tentokrát s taky Dominikem, ale s Dominikem Stroukalem. A bude to o kryptoměnách a proč je to kravina. Takže Dominik Stroukal, proč jsou kryptoměny kravina, nebo něco takového. 18.11. Mějte se moc hezky and goodbye.